enjoyable. Okay, you can deal with it better. I have more examples. They're just, my train of thought is everywhere. So I'll come back to that about internal coaching. The other thing is conscious awareness. Conscious awareness. You're aware of what you're doing. You're aware of what you're not doing. Okay? But what you have to do is, it takes a lot of time to find a disciplined behavior. This book here, some of the papers that I'm going to give you today, it doesn't happen overnight. And you will have slip-ups. It does happen. 3 years later, still slip-ups. But do they take me to the world of no end? No, because I have the tools to stop that from happening. Okay? So, these papers I'm going to give you today, I chose to put a little more effort into the workbook because you said that last week you were using them. Please use these tools. You can't do it alone, though. It was really interesting last night when I was trying to put this presentation together. I had 2 weeks of intensive therapy where I went every day and worked on these strategies. So it was like therapy, but it didn't have to do with everyone's particular situation. We all have stuff, remember? It was, how are you going to address your stuff? How are you going to fix it? So at the time, my world was horrible, as I thought, in my head. So I have this little journal in here, and I was reading it, and boy, was I thinking when I was reading. It was hard. First of all, it was very hard for me to even open this notebook because I was scared. I didn't want to ever go back to the way I was thinking at that time. So I was very careful with what I read in this notebook because there were things in there I just didn't want to see. However, there are things in here that I love reading. I am so proud of what I've accomplished and how far I've come. And I want you, that's why we have you using those journals, writing in your journal every night how you feel, what you've accomplished, what you may have done in the past, what you're doing now. Seeing that on paper keeps you going. Okay? Seeing that you've made a change makes a difference. Please keep writing in those journals. They're not just like fluff. It's important. Your gratitude journal, very important. In here, it was like my mind was all jumbled with thoughts, crazy thoughts everywhere. And all of a sudden, as the pages kept going, they started to get organized. My thoughts were getting more clear as I was going along. I was able to take what I'm going to give you and apply it to my situation. Pull out things that were applicable to me. And then, what I also saw was, I could feel in the beginning of the charts, because that was easy, what I was having a problem with, what my negative thought was, but I could not feel in the end of the chart. All of my charts are like empty. I remember going home every day after that intensive therapy, and I would go to my brother's, and we would then work on how to apply it to my world. And I never have the answers. And I look at it now, and I kind of giggle because it's easy for me to come up with the answers. And I can't believe I had this mental block with, I don't know what to put there. So what we're going to do is we'll give you these charts. What they are is thinking errors that you may have, things that you genuinely think to be true. For example, people will do one is mind reading. Without their saying so, you know how people are feeling and why they act the way they do. In particular, you are able to divinely know how the people are feeling toward you, and so you never check it out. You only act on the erroneous beliefs, and the other person will often get mad and feel misunderstood. So, someone you're trying to have a relationship with is going to be impacted by your false beliefs. Relationships is a huge aspect of making strides. Does that mean it has to be a relationship as in me and my boyfriend, me and my husband? No. Okay? I think I have a problem with that. Develop great relationships everywhere else. Not me and the boyfriend. Okay? Relationships is what's going to get you through. You have been developing relationships right here. These are strong binds that you have with one another. You're in a situation together. You're lifting each other up. You're helping one another out. Your relationship that you have with the gym. Your relationship you have with food. Your relationship you have with your coworkers. These are all important, okay? If there's something negative in your world, it's going to bring you down.